Oh, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Today's Weather Tonight. Here, as always, I am your meteorologist for the evening, Cloud Hudson, and I'll be bringing you today's top weather stories, starting from the bottom up. We cover all spheres because it's all meteors, it's all part of the weather. All right. So I hope that y'all are having a happy Sunday. I know I am. I'm having a pretty delightful day today. Let me go ahead and get our volcano view up here. All right. So we are looking at actually not do dual screen. Let me do and yeah, there we go. Let's see. Let's take a look at what volcanic activity we've had today. Mount Semeru here in East Java, Indonesia, continues to explode. We don't have any new pictures of that, but see if I can get the webcams to work. Oh no, that's not going to show me. Not going to show me the right things. Never mind. Semeru continues to explode. We've also got continuing eruptions, volcano eruptions at Paramushir Island, Mount Beko. Lewitobi continues to have discrete volcanic ash emissions to flight level 060. We've got Lewitolo in the Lesser Sunda Islands. That's down in the Philippines. Continued explosion, ground report of an eruption, moving northwest at 6,000 feet. Semeru, as we said, continues to, okay, so flight level 150 is 15,000 feet. So flight level 60 would be 60,000 feet. Let's see. Merapi continues to have volcanic emissions. Ducono as well. Santiaguito continues its explosive ash activity. Volcanic ash plume rising to flight level 150. Mount Fuego down in Guatemala also continues to have a volcanic ash plume erupting. Nevado del Ruiz down in Colombia is also got a volcanic ash plume. And same thing at Reventador down in Ecuador and Sabancaya in Peru. See, that one is headed pretty far east once we're up there. We haven't taken a look at the Icelandic Met Office in a while. Let's see what our latest, if we've got any updates from them. Looks like we're having a bit of a earthquake swarm here. I guess yesterday when we saw activity picked back up, that's what this was all about. Is it looks like we're having every 24 hours or so, we've got these little earthquake swarms, except this one, the most recent one, the one that was 4 to 12 hours ago, happened to be much further down the line, actually closer to the, well, this one's a little further up the line. This had a magnitude 3 at it. This seems to be closer to the Svartsengi area. That makes me want to see the uplift data. Let's see if we've got any new... Okay, yeah, the gas dispersions seem to be going offshore, which is good. And we don't have any new alerts, no new press releases. But let's take a look at our uplift data just because we've got time for it today. Let's see. Yeah, looking like Mount Askia has continued its uplift. It looks like maybe that is probably where the center of the yesterday's eruptive swarm was. And then here it looks like we should be dipping down, but these are for different locations. That's let's go down to the Grindavik area. Okay, yeah. So Svartsengi Grindavik has not really slowed down in inflation since since the eruption happened. It's started to build pressure back up, honestly, since the beginning of April. We've seen it was leveled off a little, and I see that as like information in is equal to information out. We just got a slow, smooth flow of lava from the magma chamber, or from below into the magma chamber and out through the craters. That's a nice, smooth pipeline. But around the beginning of April, some of the craters started to collapse, and they had built up enough cooling lava on the surface of the ground that the amount flowing in started to be greater than the amount flowing out. So we are again seeing the earth inflate. We're seeing a bit of a inflation event start back up here in April, when we went back down to one and only one. I'm sorry about that. Let me silence my phone. Yes, I do have a flip phone. If y'all are unaware that that's the kind of person I am. I very much enjoy being on a flip phone. I kind of strongly dislike being attached to smartphones all the time. This is also a very nice. Wait, let me. It's a nice, like, little tactile hello. Like, it's also nice to. It's nice to click the buttons. Let me. ASMR, you're texting on a flip phone. That's what it sounds like when I'm texting people. I wasn't texting anyone there. I was just, typing into the thing, but it makes a good click too. So good. Anyway, let's go back to our update. Hi, welcome to the stream, everyone. I hope that there are some folks out there watching. Oh, now Twitch wants to let me see my my live while I'm live. Okay, that's cool. I couldn't get that to work yesterday. All right, let's go back to, we're looking at our Icelandic uplift data. So yeah, we see this little inflation. This one, this is the Blue Lagoon one. The Blalonid is their word for Blue Lagoon. This has only increased and increased and increased. It seems that, there was a running through smooth pipe kind of situation between mid-March and the beginning of April, but around the beginning of April, when those two southern craters got sealed up, it looks like there's been more uplift underneath there. So I would not go to the Blue Lagoon right now and expect to not get boiled alive randomly. I just have a feeling that this is not a great situation. Also, there's a lot of volcanic ash emissions and pollution going on. I don't want to breathe that in. Let's see. So yeah, most of these are showing, these discrete eruption events show a good deflation usually after the eruption. But when we are looking at the March into April eruption event, we're looking at something else entirely, where we haven't really seen a good dispersion of like whatever swelled up. We've stayed kind of swelled up and just leaking pus out of the surface. I know it's gross to think of volcanoes as acne, but this is more of a cystic acne eruption than a like a once off whitehead kind of thing. Yeah, very interesting. It looks to me like, we're not slowing down with this eruption. This looks like it's building to even more eruption, honestly. Let's see. Do we have the camera? Oh, I don't have that camera up. Okay, never mind. Anyway, let's go to now look at we've done volcanoes, we've done earthquakes. Oh wait, we haven't done all earthquakes. This was our transition into earthquakes. Let's do earthquakes. Let's see. Looking at earthquake 3D now. We can see that our most recent earthquake was here, a 1.3 out in California. And remember, I do have both our moon and sun orbitals projected onto this right now, because I like to see that. I also like to see rivers. Okay, so we got a 4.9 out in the Mariana Islands, Marianas Trench area. That's a 4.9 at 10 kilometers depth. Let me make sure this is up to date. Yes. Okay. So for the past 24 hours, we're looking at 4.9 there, a 4.5 there, and a 4.8 there. Let's see. This 5.2 looks to be shallow. That's at 0 kilometers depth. That was a surface 5.2 here. Okay. Do you want to show me the data? Okay. There we go. Thank you. Nope. That's not what you want. There we go. Thank you. 5.2 here in the, I don't remember which, this is the Banda Sea, in the middle of the Banda Sea, in the Eurasian plate there. Your Eurasian plate, not that's Eurasian plate right there. We had a 6.5 out here to the east of Papua New Guinea. And we had a 2.8 actually on the island of Australia, or on the continent / island of Australia. Again, a 0 kilometer depth one. So this 2 and this 5 were surface earthquakes. That is really notable. This 6.5 out here was at 49 kilometers depth. I bet that didn't help any of these though. Let's see. We also had some pretty deep looking quakes. Let me zoom out here. Yeah. Pretty deep looking quakes on the wave shaped plate boundary. 4.6. These are all at, we had a 4.6 at 10 kilometers depth, 4.6 at 179, a 4.9 at 228, and a 4.9 at 389. So kind of as we are going out of the crest of the peak here in the Fiji, Tonga, Vanuatu Islands region, we're looking at a coming out of the surface. As we move along, we've got a 4.9 here in the heart of China. That is at 13 kilometers depth. A 4.6 here out on Oh, borders are fake, but I'll pretend to put them on. Okay, yeah, that is right on the border of, is that on the border of Kyrgyzstan and China? I think we have a 4.0 in the middle of Afghanistan at a 201 kilometer depth. Excuse me. I hate keeping borders on because I don't like them. Okay. And then we had a 4.3 out here in right off the coast of Turkey in Greece, I guess the Bosphorus. We had a 4.5 here in Greece. And we're finally showing a new registered internationally earthquake, 2.7 off the coast of Italy. I bet this is at the Campi Flegrei in the Phlegraean fields. That is a volcano series that is waking up in Italy, really close to Vesuvius and Pompeii. That whole area that is waking up. We do actually, I mean, and that's not to say we don't have activity over here, because Mount Etna is still got active volcanic activity right now. It's just that this 2.7 is in an area that hasn't been already erupting for a while. Let's see, who is this? Who is this one right here? I don't see a flag with it. Okay, that's that 4.3. 3.1 here in geography is failing me. I'm going to cheat and look at USGS. Is that Austria? Yeah. Yeah, that's Austria. In the middle of Austria. I wanted to call it Hungary, and then I knew that that would start an international war. So that's Austria. Sorry. We got a 3.1 here in Austria at 10 kilometers depth. Still not showing. I don't know what feed I need to turn on in order to get the Icelandic data in, but not getting much there. 4.8 out on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, and a 5 at 10 kilometers depth, and a 5.3 on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge at 10 kilometers depth. That is pretty consistent Mid-Atlantic activity. Now here in the so-called United States, we've got continued activity in West Texas, but also Central Texas. That's a little new, as well as California, just all over the place. I have to turn the quake rings down just for you to see all the individual spots where we had between 0 and magnitude 2 earthquakes today. But once we go up into the 2.5 and greater region, we see that we were only looking at like the Baja Peninsula and like the Bay Area. Bay Area had a 2.9 surface 2.9 today. So I would expect, I mean, the reason there are so many little quakes here is there's just constantly, this is just a bowl full of jelly jiggling out there. Let's see, let's turn the quake rings back on. And go back to all magnitudes, please. Okay. And we had a 1.6 out here in the middle of Montana. That little Yellowstone ridge of Rockies earthquake seemed to have stopped. We've got a 2.6 here out near Houston, Texas, at 5 kilometers depth. We had a 2.2 on the Arkansas-Kansas border. Not Kansas. Arkansas, Missouri. I was going to say Kansas City, Missouri. Arkansas, I see, I almost did it again. Arkansas, Missouri border, a 2.2 at 7 kilometers depth. And then here in eastern Tennessee, there was a 1.7 at 15 kilometers depth. That would be just It's just west of where we saw the North Carolina earthquakes a few weeks ago in Bryson City. That would be just on the other side of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park there. And we're still seeing aftershocks in northern New Jersey, a 2.6 at 9 kilometers depth. Now, when we get down here to the Mexico and Central America, that is when it looks like things are heating back up. We've got some moderate depth. Looks like we're looking at, okay, so the 4.2 here was at 108. The 4.7 here was at 10 kilometers deep, and the 4.8 was at 80 kilometers depth. So these are some mid-range depth earthquakes, and I always gloss over this, but Puerto Rico has got so much going on around it. Puerto Rico and the Leeward Islands and all around here. There's like a 3.5 at 7 kilometers. That is nuts, y'all. If that happened anywhere else, it would be headlines, I think. But really, we're looking between this is between Puerto Rico and DR and Haiti. But those are some pretty high numbers to just be background tremors. Pretty high magnitudes to just be something fading into the background and at very shallow depths. I wonder why we don't hear more about this in earthquake news. Let's see. 4.6 here in Ecuador. That was at 19 kilometers depth. And then as we get into, see, where are these? This is Argentina. We've got 4.5 at 555 kilometers depth. That's a really deep one in Argentina, so we can expect to see one on the other side of the world, I believe. If we see a deep one like that, we had a 267 kilometer depth 4.0 and a 4.2 at 115. And those came in, let's see, the deep one was, let's go back to just today. Thank you. Sorry, I don't know why my date likes to screw up sometimes. That one was at 11:16 p.m. on the 14th. 4 was at 3:27 p.m. and the 4.2, the shallowest one, was at 3:10. So these actually went downward into the earth. This was motion going into the earth. Interesting. And I guess on the other side of the world from Argentina, we'd be looking at something happening out here in the Indian Ocean near Madagascar, or the East African Rise, or something in this area. So very interesting to see deep ones on the opposite side. Matter of fact, can I do which view is best for this? Yeah, I want to do how do I look at the antipode of Argentina? That's going to put it somewhere in the middle of China. Oh, really? No, we're looking at where the 4.8 was here, south of Taiwan. Yeah. Taiwan's the opposite of that area. Or no, is it? It's a little hard to see. Little hard to see. Yeah. That 6.5 is opposed by the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. And that 4.2 is opposed by Just off the shore of Myanmar. In the Andaman Islands region. See what's on the other side of Puerto Rico. Oh, Australia. Interesting. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to take a look at our let's go ahead and look at our atmosphere. So today I've finally remembered that I can pull up satellite on Earthquake 3D. So let's take a look at that beautiful sunset rolling in across the states. We've got a good little nugget of severe weather happening here in Ohio and Pennsylvania. We're looking at severe thunderstorm warnings. We've got a special weather statement for near Trenton, New Jersey. Let's zoom in and take a look at this. Do we get a higher res than this? No, not really. Let's see. Let's look at long wave IR. So this is the long wave infrared reading. This shows us really cloud temperature. Let's see. Let's see if we got flash count density. This will show us where we've got some lightning going on. That's a pretty good measurement. Energy density. How about that? Yeah, we've got some pretty energetic storms here just north of Pittsburgh. Excuse me, I'm stretching because sometimes it's the right thing for the energy at the moment. Everyone take a good deep breath. Let's make sure that we're breathing well. Okay. Let's go off of satellite right now and look at our radar because I'd like to see single site radar on this storm. Let's go from Cleveland. Yeah, look at that little banger coming right off of Lake Erie. It's got a nice dry line right along the edge of the coast. So all this air is smacking into some warm, dry air. This like wet, cooled lake air smacking into that dry, warm air, giving it the real friction it needs to spin off some good little isolated supercells. I'd say that was a pretty good one right there. That should be, yeah, severe thunderstorm. Hail up to 1.75 inches. That tracks. That makes a lot of sense. This looks like a nasty little storm right there. But honestly, just going north of Pittsburgh, I guess. I don't even know if that's the Pittsburgh metro area or something. We do also have a special weather statement in Akron. We're looking at really high wind gusts here. So there is a high wind warning around Akron, Ohio, south of Cleveland. But I'm sure all of northeastern Ohio is being pretty battered by winds right now. Let's see what the radar out of Pittsburgh looks like. Yeah, that shows us a little bit better because it's not downwind. Look at these really high, let's see, really high DBZ values. We got up to 67. That's a pretty large reflection there. Remember, radars are like little bats. They send out, we even had peeked into the cyan there. There was right around Prospect. We peeked into the cyan level of DBZ. Remember that there is... I'm actually going to step through it. Yeah. Yeah, let's see what this value just near Newcastle was. Yeah, we got up into the mid 70s. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong storm. That's very significant. They're probably getting battered by some hail up there in Clinton, Butler, Prospect, Zelienople. I don't know how to say that. But everywhere from Newcastle to Butler to Clinton is probably getting some significant hail damage, as well as maybe even near New Bethlehem or Mahoning. We're looking at, let's see if the State College radar shows. Oh, yeah, all throughout this region, there's still significant thunderstorms all the way to like from Punxsutawney to Snowshoe to Lamar, and that's just what's showing up well on this radar. Let's see what the Philadelphia radar has to say. Yeah, it is throughout the entire Northeast that we're looking at this nasty little storm. Yeah, the special weather statement here for around Philadelphia was for wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Yeah, so that's pretty much our big weather update for today. We've got exciting weather in the Northeast there, like a beautiful little storm blowing straight across. Let's take a look at that all together here. Take that off. Yeah. So nice little latitudinal storm system there. It's a hot latitude right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. We do also have some rain and isolated supercells out here in Montana. This one looks nasty over here near Lewiston, but not warned for anything. Let's see. Yeah, and we've got that circulation off the coast of California sweeping into the Rockies area, which won't really produce a whole lot while it's going through here. But once it connects to this big, warm, dry air mass out in the plains tomorrow, we are going to have some really intense, severe weather. Where I think we're forecasted at some slight enhanced risks. Actually, let me go ahead and pull up what we're, let's do. No, that's not the one I want. The Weather Prediction Center. No, Severe Weather Prediction Center. Okay, Storm Prediction Center. Let's go to check that out. We are looking at day one convective outlook at a slight risk. And our day two is we are all the way up to an enhanced outlook. We're also looking at on the backside of that enhanced convective outlook, a critical fire risk. So if it's not tornadoes, it's fire for the Colorado, New Mexico, Texas area. So this is the day that we were looking at, like there are well, I don't remember what I was just going to say. We've got an enhanced risk, a slight risk, and a very large marginal risk, and also a marginal and slight risk over here in the Tidewater area, the Virginia, coastal Virginia and North Carolina border region also has a slight risk of severe weather. Now, yeah, let's see. This Oklahoma and Texas area and also the Kansas, Nebraska area, we have an enhanced risk. And so that shows there's probably going to be some good storm chasing tomorrow. Now, from that, let's take a look at our global radar, our global satellite. That was a 30% hatched. What did I do? I wanted to go to the tornado warning. 5% risk of tornado, 15% risk of high winds, 30% hatched risk of hail. That is really severe chances of hail, and definitely looking at tornadoes all throughout this area. So that'll be exciting. Oh wait, okay, let's go back to this. Okay, we're looking at, this is the little center of circulation that's going to be bringing that severe weather tomorrow. Over here, north of Hawaii, just look at that perfect spiral. Sometimes I just like looking at weather because I like looking at the gorgeous, gorgeous spirals that nature creates and the textures, those juicy textures. Don't you wish you could just feel those clouds like there were a fleece jacket, you know, when you see those stratocumulus type clouds, when you're just like, oh man, anything cumulus looks soft and fuzzy. Some of this looks like, but some of out here, when it looks more cirrus type or like scattered in between, it looks like rough, grainy, scaly. Sometimes you just look at the weather. Sometimes when you're a certain type of autistic, you just look at the weather satellites and you're like, ooh, I want to touch it so bad. I want to touch those clouds. But it actually shows you a lot about the way that a center of circulation develops, because all the different cloud types are different weather conditions. So the map of the clouds, a picture of the clouds, is actually showing you a map of where the different weather conditions are. It's really neat when you get to know it. But at first, all you got to do is look at the puffy clouds and see how nice and fluffy they look as they're circulating inward, and ooh, how stretched out and sparse and like they're gasping for air they are over here in the area where we're inflowing. Really, really nice illustration there. Let's see this in motion. That's a beautiful swirl out here, if I do say so myself. This might be the swirl that's hitting us by next weekend. So I hope this is a good one. Yeah. Just look at that. Beautiful. And of course, we see the actual onshore developments there. Yeah, so as we I'm going to stop that so we can zoom around more. As we're looking at the Western Pacific, we're seeing, you know, continued storms. It is the rainy season out there, so no surprise there. And we do have, again, storms all over southeastern Saudi Arabia, which has got to be great for people who want some rain in the desert. Oman and Southeast Saudi Arabia are definitely getting it Pakistan as well. Also on the South Sudan and Ethiopia border region, we've got some cells active, as well as in Nigeria, off the coast of Kenya and Tanzania have some nice storms going on. Let's watch those bloom. It's really nice to sometimes see the storms a blooming. And this is in the Congo. That should be all rainforest, but is actually a lot of extraction. And got something popping up here in Madagascar too, and they were just hit by some really intense storms in this northern section of the island. So really hope that this little storm here between the coast of Mozambique and Madagascar doesn't become another tropical cyclone. But if it does, I hope that everybody is safe. Yeah, because they were just recovering from their torrential floods, flooding from the last cyclone. We've also got some rain happening in the rainforest of Brazil and South Africa, Colombia, lots in Argentina. Let's see. And Bolivia. All right. So plenty of atmospheric weather happening. Right now we've got offshore winds from the Reykjanes Peninsula, but there could be onshore winds coming if this circulation system tries to go the east of Greenland dissipation route rather than the west of Greenland dissipation route. So from that, let's go from the connection of the Earth to the atmosphere, which is our Schumann resonance data. So let's see. Let's get our most recent update. So our Schumann resonance data out of Tomsk, Russia is showing extremely elevated levels of power exchange between the ionosphere and the Earth. So it's no wonder that we're seeing these very deep quakes and very shallow quakes, as well as some larger 6.2s coming around the bend. Let me just see, has any big deal happened since I started broadcasting? No, nothing too big of a deal. But yeah, there's a good amount of energy precipitating from the charged radiation belts, or the radiation charged belts around the Earth that are the ionosphere. And that is actually the gradient between space and the atmosphere. So when we think of like the sky versus space, the thing that is the line between space and our terrestrial atmosphere is the ionosphere, is this sphere where air particles are so low density that it's really more of a weather of electrons than a weather of chemicals. So that creates a charge, that there's a voltage created between that level of ionosphere and the surface of the Earth. As the charge is really high up here because you mostly got loose electrons and plasma and shit floating around. And then down here on the surface of the Earth, it's ground. It's neutral. This is ground. Ground is ground. When you're an electrician, ground actually is ground. So this creates the atmosphere capacitor. This is one big capacitor. And the Schumann resonances are showing us how frequently this capacitor is discharging its charge from the highly charged ionosphere to the more neutral or positively charged ground level. So this whiteout, this big burst of energy is showing a lot of transfer of power between the ionosphere and the Earth's surface, which there are many interpretations that I can go into about this, but let me just show you. When I talk about the modes of the Schumann resonances, this is what I'm talking about. These are bursts of energy that would ring or like find their resonant frequency within like a one whole Earth length, or a 1/2 Earth length, or a 1/3 Earth length. These, like the fundamental node is the bright red here that goes around, touches at the antipodes. That's where the antipode concept of earthquakes comes from, is the fundamental mode of the Schumann resonances being like, if something happens over here, there's an equal resonance over here. And then we don't really even get into the second and third orders in yet in earthquake forecasting type discussions, but I believe that triangular, like 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 distribution, the tripode, I don't know if that's the 3 version of the antipode, but the tripode, I believe, has something to do with it too. That's our second order, our second mode of the Schumann resonances. And this, you can look it up on Wikipedia. This basically, these are based on what would the ring be like in an ideal resonator, an ideal resonant cavity, thinking of the atmosphere of the Earth like a resonant cavity. The variations are due to changes in both the ionosphere and the Earth's magnetic relationship, at Earth's magnetic field and relationship to the ionosphere itself. Anyway, I'm getting the vibe that I'm not supposed to dig into what the Schumann resonances mean today quite yet, but I will explain more what they mean as it's supposed to be revealed. But basically, Schumann resonance weather, very high, very hot. We are getting a lot of information from the very tippy top of our atmosphere downloaded down to the ground today. So anything that's coming through, let it come through. Take more care of your body, drink more water than usual, get more rest than usual. It might be hard to sleep when you have these enhancements, but just do your best to rest and hydrate as best as you can. Don't try. I mean, this is a time when it's very energizing and very tempting to go really hard into the behaviors that you are passionate about. And sometimes you're passionate about doing like things that aren't a great choice. I always have found that when I have I'm really on one types of nights, the Schumann resonances have been very high. But I think we can also use this as a way to channel in what we want to happen, not just what we could make happen. Speaking of water, I'm going to take a sip. Oh, yeah. See, getting more thirsty than usual doing this today. I also did spend a lot of time outside in the sun, in the garden today. So it's good to hydrate. Okay. Now let's take a look at, beyond this Schumann resonances, what would we naturally go to next? But of course, going to our solar weather. So let's take a look at what the solar weather is. Okay, maximum X-ray flux of the past 2 hours is at M1.76. So not only did we have an M flare today, but we also had one that was hoo-hoo, buddy. And we also had a partial halo type 4 CME event. Okay, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coronal mass ejections today, and one of them was a type 4 potential full halo CME. Let's take a look at it. This is like sports for me. This is how I feel. How people felt about the Masters today is how I feel about watching the sun do a coronal type 4 coronal mass ejection on the same day that we're having whiteout conditions on the Schumann resonances. Okay. Want to show me? Okay. Well, we can look at the distribution, right? No? Okay. Maybe I got a little too excited. Let's refresh and see. Let's refresh and see if we're able to download this yet. Maybe I need to close some of these tabs. Close some tabs to try to get a little happier browser. Okay, you don't want to show me. That's fine. We're not going to show me anything today, and that's okay. You know, Space Weather Live, you're doing your best. Looks like we got a big splashy region coming into view. Okay, we have got these new bright regions named now, at least. We're looking at 3639, 3640, 3637, and 3638. So yeah, and 3636 over there just being a perfect little angel. But these bad boys trailing it are no jokes. Let's see. And also we got 3641. That's a new sunspot region. And we're calling these two, this little pair of bug eyes. Doesn't this look like a little dude? This looks like a little dude with eyes and a little smiley face right there. Like maybe like from Toy Story, the little binoculars that walk. It looks like that. Or like Marcel the Shell. This looks like Marcel the Shell with shoes on. Okay. Let's see. It's my broadcast and I get to use any references I want to. Okay. Let's look at the... All right. So we had 2 M-class flares today. One was kind of last night. It was just past UTC time. See, this was at 2:30 UTC last night, Sunday, April 14th. And then we also had one, I mean, honestly, right when the broadcast started, we had a M1.76 at 1:10 UTC on technically Monday, April 15th, but we're calling it April 14th because I'm in the Eastern time zone. Yeah, wow, very awesome. I guess that would go along with some radio blackouts potentially. Let's see. Moderate flare was from 3639, so that is from one of the new bright regions. Let's see. Radio. Okay. Let's take a look. Maybe we can get a view of this. Is this the one? That's... Where am I going to go? I think I want to look at... Oh gosh, are we freezing? I hope we're not freezing today. Let's take a look at this one to see for the solar flares. And we're going to be looking at 3639 over here as it comes into view. There's a couple little flare offs, little pew, pew. We're looking for like that red carpet flash bulb celebrity. Pew, pew. Man, these look juicy. These look exciting. I mean, at the very least, we'll get some more M-class flares. And we have been well below the sea range for a while, so it'll be nice to get some good flares going again. Not nothing happening on the Earth-facing disk, but, kind of nothing. Just each little solar storm doing its own thing, swelling up, inflating. Yeah, there we go. That's the last one, was that last little burst of light. Let's see if I bet this one shows it better. Yeah, that was the one yesterday. These are showing off, honestly. This is just showing, oh yeah, beautiful. That was a lot. That was great. Okay, I don't know why I can't find the coronal mass ejection on here. Let's take a look at AIA 135 angstroms. There's some releases. There's one. This is a little plasma tornado that's launched off a little. Not much to speak of. I don't know where this full halo came from. Be better if I could see it on the page. Yeah, there's that little plasma tornado that launched off, I think, yesterday. I think that was last night's little burst that we saw. Was this. That was the little thing that we saw right in the middle of the broadcast. This looks like it's about to flare up as well. Man, these are going to be really good. I mean, it was great to see such bright regions on the eclipse last week. Let's look at Go's interpretation of these regions. Yeah. These are all a bright region. Their prominence is here and here. And filaments, not looking like we have many filaments to launch. But pretty exciting stuff. Let's see. Let's look at, maybe Soho will tell us a better coronal mass ejection story. It usually does. Yeah, coming out of there. That's out of the new regions. They're really piping hot. They're boiling that corona off. I don't see yesterday's thingy. I swear there was a big filament here yesterday, or a big arc. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I bet that is what counted as today's. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. Well, let me step through. It won't really. Not really. So yeah, yesterday we had a bit coming up from this northern bright region, big ol' eruption, and then there was one on the other side right at the end here. Yeah, big eruption there. Very good. Very good. Beautiful to see. Let's see if any of this is modeled to come to us. Yeah, that eruption is probably going to go west of us, may not interfere with Earth other than like the Parker spiral being affected in a resonance kind of way, but it's going to go to what's between Mercury and Mars right now. Not much. Well, Venus, technically, from the Earth's perspective, Venus is in between those two. But yeah, this shows what Mercury retrograde looks like, by the way. You see Mercury moving in front of the sun from Earth's perspective. How if this here, 14 and 13, imagine this is the zodiac wheel of stars, of fixed stars in the background. It would look like Mercury is going backwards through Aries. If usually everything looks like forward is clockwise or is going this way, it looks like Mercury's going backwards because it's moving up the graph and these are moving down the graph, and up and down is backwards and forwards in the sky. Okay, speaking of astrology, let's go ahead and take a look at that. It's a parallax thing. Oh, look at that gorgeous cradle. I love a cradle. We got the moon at 17 degrees of Cancer, making a beautiful trine to Mars in Pisces at 17 degrees, which is still within 2-degree conjunction of Saturn in Pisces. That's a really cool story for Scotty Scheffler, who won the Masters today. He's having his Saturn return. He's 27 and he's just won his second Masters and is having a baby this week. So I'd be really interested to see his natal chart. I hope that the astrology shows will dig into the natal placements of Scotty Scheffler. That would be cool. Hey, astrology podcast, I'm putting it out there. Please do that. But not only do we have this trine, we've also got that trine sitting sextile to where Jupiter and Uranus are conjoining in Taurus. They are now just 1 degree away from each other. So things that are happening on a massive scale and massive things that are happening are in the works right now. We've got the Sun and Venus are kind of out of play. Sun, Venus, and Mercury are kind of out of play of that little basket situation, which is a basket if you include Lilith as a point. It's only a sextile triangle if you don't include that point. But we do have Mercury conjunct Chiron right now. And we've also got Venus in Aries at 12 degrees, which is a great place for Venus to be, in my humble opinion. Let's see. Tomorrow, the moon is going to continue on into Leo and oppose Pluto in Aquarius. And it's been some time since Aquarius Pluto had some good aspects to it. So we'll see how that goes. It is currently a Sun day and a Jupiter hour. So, well, it might technically be a Mars hour at this point, because when I loaded the page, it was a Jupiter hour. Now we are in a Sun day and a Mars hour. If I had waited 1 more hour, we would have been in a Sun day and a Sun hour, but I did get some sun today, and so I'm a little sleepy. So, like I said, with the Schumann resonance is so high, it is good to get extra water and sleep. Okay, let's now finish up with a little card reading. Yeah, I'll do all of them. And if anybody wants to join our stream now, they are more than welcome to come watch us on Twitch or YouTube or Twitter. Anybody who wants to come see the today's weather tonight with Cloud Hudson, please join the stream now. Got my Labradorite. We're going to start off with the tarot deck today. And I do have a holographic tarot deck. I don't know if y'all have spotted that, but it's a shiny, and it's also got Chinese writing on it because it was kind of like, I don't know, it wasn't from Amazon, but it was from some online something that I was like, well, I'll see what I get. And I'm just happy it came in rainbow. Okay, and remember, I do the card readings to get a read on the cosmic weather. So this is a reading for today, April 14th, 2024. What is the cosmic weather? What are the energies coming in from the places beyond the planets, beyond what we can see with satellites and telescopes and modern equipment measurements? What is the stuff that we can't see? What is the stuff that we have to use chaos cards in order to measure? What is that? Okay, got 2. All right. Well, I like that. We have the Hierophant reversed and the 4 of Pentacles reversed. So, this to me seems like an unlocking of it. The 4 of Pentacles reversed gives the reversal of stinginess, because he's a very not money grubbing, but like somebody who is so afraid to let go that he will never make any more money. 4 is so afraid to walk away from his already made coins that he doesn't know he could go out there and make more. And that is being reversed. And the Hierophant reversed is the locking away of mystical knowledge inside of ritual and hierarchy and religious traditions and the way religious traditions interact with the state. Yes, there was some original divine knowledge there being guarded through secret sects and, bureaucracy. The reversal of religious bureaucracy for the benefit of in tandem with the reversal of stinginess. So I think I'm not going to get a card from the affirmation deck. I think I'm also only going to grab one from the liminal space deck. It's the vibe I'm getting today. And remember, this is the one that I've got the ocean jasper with. Sounds so nice. Very pretty. What interpretation do you have to say with the Hierophant and 4 of Pentacles reversed for our cosmic weather today? I can't do the Archie thing, but I want to be able to, and I will learn it someday. I have been able to shuffle cards properly, like card player way in the past, but for now I'm just gonna do the random drop cutting and thumb shuffling. Okay, so what does this mean? The Hierophant and reversed and the 4 of Pentacles reversed together in the context of our cosmic weather today. Okay. It says magic is either everything or it is nothing. And pardon my shaky hands. I did use a power trimmer today, so I've got vibrations left in my arm. But we've got take a number, and it's 1111. Now serving 1110. Magic is either everything or it is nothing. And the interpretation for that one is okay. Magic is either everything or it is nothing. No mistakes were made, no wrong turns taken, but you did miscalculate. You're not out of time. The inner commentator does not have access to the greater picture. In fact, it will lead to self-sabotage in this case. You are where you are supposed to be, and even this is magic. So, maybe I'm exactly where I need to be, and that is magic. So, I may have miscalculated. I didn't do anything wrong. Perhaps there was a miscalculation. Well, I hope to be able to perceive correctly soon in order to make those calculations correct. This is giving me like abundance manifesting kind of energy of like, I have not quite manifested. This is me getting raw and real and personal. I've not quite manifested a large following on this stream yet. I think because I have yet to fully believe that I deserve it, and or that not that you can only manifest things you deserve, because you can certainly manifest things that you don't deserve. But like, I don't think I've really wanted it to succeed yet. I've wanted to be a failure for a little bit longer. So I hope that we can all look at ourselves and be like, do we want this thing to get better, or do we want to keep complaining about this thing? Is it really your choice or not your choice? Magic is either everything or it's nothing. Magic is real. And if you're afraid to let go of your coins because you're afraid nothing good will ever come in, you'll never make more. So, gotta pony up. Not just spend money to make money, but you need to spend belief in order to accumulate belief, I think. And this is very contrary to the hierarchical church order way of thinking of deserving and stuff. So it's very reversed Hierophant for me. Yeah. It's been really nice talking to y'all tonight. I know that I did put on Twitch that I'm going to be streaming around 10 o'clock, and that is kind of a lie. I stream whenever I feel like it, but I do it every day, as long as I feel like it that day. Maybe I need to be a little bit more ritualistic about this and elect certain times to go on, but I think that is going to close us out for today. I am available for private weather forecast if you need it. Just direct message me. Hit me up on Coffee. You can support this channel however you want, but you could also subscribe on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Honestly, just do YouTube or Twitch. That would help a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all tomorrow evening. I love you all very much. Have a great one. Bye. Goodbye.